What's good? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Chito. Damn, Chito, you need a haircut, bro. Look, see what happened was, it's a condition. I spoke to my doctor about it, and he basically said, fuck you, nigga. And recently I had one of my favorite fans hit me up with one of these questions. Chito, how'd you get into rapping? And I just sat there, trying to dig in the pits of the hellhole that I call my memory bank, and try to figure out, Chito, how and when did you start rapping? Well, you see, damn, you forget already? It's only been 8 years. Shit. See, I was kind of born with the mic attached to my hand. My dad was a rapper before I even was born. So it was my destiny. No, it was my family's legacy for me to become a rapper. That legacy, which I must continue and pass on to my kindred. LOL, mini Cheetos. Mini Cheetos coming soon. Like I was saying, my dad was a rapper before me. And he was basically a pioneer of hip-hop in Ecuador. Picture what KRS-One was for the Bronx. That's what my dad was for Ecuador, Guayaquil. So once I was old enough to figure out what my dad actually did, then I was introduced to his music. At this point, we lived in New York. And knowing that my dad was a pioneer in hip-hop and he helped shape what hip-hop was in Ecuador, kind of made it more of a reason for me to get into hip-hop and rapping and stuff like that. I was 15 on Neopets. Yeah, Neopets. Nigga, don't ask, it just happened that way, okay? Shit. And I'm not gonna lie, it was amazing. It was a small group of innocent kids who ain't know how to do shit but talk shit on the internet. And I missed them all, even the fakes. You know who you are. We sat there typing away, having to filter out what we wanted to say in order to get the message across. Like if I wanted to call somebody a bitch ass nigga, I had to type B1, the plus sign, a C, and an H, an @ sign, and 2 5s, and then N199A in order for me to get my message across. Yeah, that. Eventually we became old and outsourced ourselves to other websites such as MySpace, where most of the females went, and the real hip-hop heads started linking each other to random forums that were around. And if my memory serves me right, my first forum was Rap Underground. Damn, I actually remember that, where I met more new people, and henceforth, Chito the illest. Yeah. The way that I got my name was basically, as a Spanish person, when you're the younger version of somebody, they add ITO to the end of your name. So my dad's name was Cheche, and my name was Chechito. So you see what they did there? They added an ITO to my name in order for them to show that I was the younger version of my dad. What I did was take out the Che and kept Chito. So when I was back in Neopets, my screen name was Chito54321. And me trying to impress this female, right? You know, cause us 15-year-olds, we had all the swag. I was trying to impress this chick, and she hit me with the, you know, Chito should have a title with it. And I'm thinking, a title? Like, Chito the Boss Man? And she was like, yeah, but something better. Chito the Illest. And that's how Chito the Illest came about. I didn't do anything with the name back then, cause I didn't know what to do with it. Shit, I had to pass my name change phase first. I went from everything from G Money to Young Money to goddamn, my name was Blazing Thought. It was Esco with a Z. I called myself Funyuns one time to be funny on a forum. I just had name changes out the ass. You know, one time I was like, man, too many people know me as Chito already for me to change my name. So I might as well work on my craft rather than work on a name. And I did. And then forums were so simple back then. Anyone with a basic HTML and an Envision free account was able to create a forum, and you were able to have a whole community to your name as soon as you started it up. Forums to me were like releasing a zoo lion into a confined forest. It was a bigger medium to figure out how other artists react. You know, I was growing out of the whole Neopets thing, you know, and going into my whole rapping thing, like trying to be an actual artist. And one thing I did find out was the real world sucks. I was this overly hyped teen trying to make his dreams come true, all excited and shit, trying to work towards his path and create more of about his brand. You know what I mean? But beats weren't cheap and neither were graphics, and I'm this 15-year-old dude. Where the hell am I gonna get this money from? So I started picking up on graphics and audio engineering. I was trying to make a DJ headphone sound like I was rapping into a Bluebird microphone. Yeah, I plugged in my dad's DJ headphone into the computer, spoke into the right side, and it recorded my ass. I tried making that sound like I make songs now. And basically, to describe what this sounded like, it sounded like you were rapping through one of those used toilet roll thingies, the brown paper things. Yeah, imagine rapping into one of those with a sock at the end. That's what it sounded like. Don't judge. Back then, I had no responsibilities. I mean, I was a kid from the Bronx who all he had to do was go to school, come back home, and do homework. And shit, like I said, I lived in the Bronx, so ain't nobody doing that shit. But I will say this, along the way of my journey, I met some great people that I still talk to today. Throughout time, I grew out of the forum phase, and eventually we moved to Atlanta. So I basically had to start fresh. You know, I figured that I'm gonna skip this whole internet thing that I had going on, and I'm gonna try to be local. I'm gonna try to build myself from the ground up, build myself from the city. So I started networking at school. And you know, since I was an internet rapper, I started showing my MySpace number. Back then, I was the shit, in my opinion. I was making 2,000, 3,000 plays every time I put up a track. Shit, right now, I'm barely lucky if I could get 100 views on one of my videos. You know, I started my own label since I was this big shot internet rapper. Back then, it was Lyrical Armageddon Production. And it was me, a few neighbors, and Monty Fetty, who's now part of BFU, and we ran the high school. And since we're in Atlanta, the plague of Soulja Boy already hit, so Lyrical Armageddon wasn't relevant anymore. It wasn't a factor, so we had to change our name, and hence was born Street Swag. Street Swag Entertainment. And we started recruiting as soon as we did. Our roster was packed. We started outsourcing back to the internet, and that's where I landed people like Joel Venom. We were performing at house parties, and we ended up performing at homecoming and the talent shows in our high school. People were begging me to join my team. I was the shit. We even had a rival group who wanted to fight with us, which, by the way, I'm cool with everybody on that team. And if they not cool with me, you know, I'm pretty sorry, but I'm cool with most of the people that was on that team. So shouts out to, back then was called CPC. Then things went downhill for me. It was a point where my grandmother passed away and all activity stopped. She was a very huge part of my life, and I'll probably talk about her in another video. And I just want you to understand that till this day, her loss, it still affects me. That event made my mentality change. I used to be this hungry, excited dude who was ready to finish a project anytime somebody wanted to collab, to stopping every activity. My mentality was, anything good will cease to exist, so why would you set yourself up for that failure? And from time to time, still to this day, I get that same feeling. It usually happens after I finish a big project and I realize that that's only the first step to actually putting it out there. So back to the first question, why did I start rapping? How did I start rapping? When did I start rapping? I was born to do it. Will I ever stop? Nah. I will say this though, the support and love that you guys are giving me throughout all the mediums, through Twitter, Facebook, DMs, emails, even through YouTube comments, I support the hell out of them. I get motivated as fuck when I see them. Cállate! Well, you reached the end of the video, but that doesn't mean that it has to be the end of us. I was being narcissistic and I was talking about myself the whole video, and I forgot to even ask you guys a question. So, today's question is, how did you start doing your hobby? Whatever you're good at. Let me know in the comments below. The best comments will be shown in the next video. Like I promised you guys before, the comments from last video will be shown at the end of the video. And I'm gonna need you guys to go like everything of mine, just because it's Chito. Come on, I'm the most epic person ever. Yo, I'm such a goofball. Anyways, go like my Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Boy, as always, stay classy, my friends. You're now dismissed. Bye.